I enjoyed that group of people and being part of something. You're not just out there in my truck all by myself. I have these meetings and these networking events, and eventually you build up relationships because you see the same people over and over again, hopefully. Then you have somebody potentially to shout out to if you have a question or a problem or a concern. Good afternoon, Todd. How are we doing today?
Good afternoon. I'm doing good now. I got my taxes done.
What?
I didn't have to file for extension.
This is the first year that you've ever got your taxes done before September.
I know.
Right?
I'm as surprised as you are.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
How many shoe boxes did you send over to your accountant?
I didn't find a shoebox yet. It's just puddled up on the floor.
Just throw it all in a trash bag?
Yeah. It's trash to me. Yeah. If I get audited, let the IRS sift through it. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I actually just saw something on the news today that I guess the IRS is short-staffed because of the
inefficiencies,
Doge stuff. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Maybe you can start getting away with some stuff now.
It's about time.
About time, right? It was funny too, because all they did was they talked about on the news. All they did was talk about how that just means the rich people aren't going to pay as much as they should. Is what their conclusion was on the whole thing. I thought that was funny.
Isn't that always going to happen? Like,
yeah. I mean, we're still going to pay what we're supposed to pay because we're too afraid to not pay it. But
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Awful.
What's going on this week?
I keep asking my accountant for those loopholes, and she won't give them to me.
Yeah.
She tells me she doesn't know, but I'm like, bullshit. You don't know. Give me the loopholes already.
She's holding out on you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I've literally spent the last 2 days doing just to get my stuff done on time. So I've been sitting in the office going blind on paperwork and QuickBooks and all that fun stuff, which, I'm organized in my own way. I just don't do like my bank recs and all that stuff in a timely manner. So that just builds up and gets
You're killing
pushed
me.
back.
I'm a bookkeeper and you're telling me that you're not doing recs. It's driving me insane.
Oh, I'm sure.
It does not compute.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
I had all of my stuff done January 3rd. I called
for this year?
Yeah.
Or for 2023?
No.
For 2024?
Yeah. I mean, not my personal stuff, obviously, because you didn't, not all of that's available, but the company stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I called my tax accountant and said, how can I send all my stuff over to you? Send me the link to the portal or whatever that we send stuff back and forth on.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have everything already? Yes, I do, sir. Yes, I do.
January 3rd. Oh my God. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Good for you.
Well, it's not a matter of like, I had a lot to do it was just, I keep up with it. So it's not hard. Like, it's every week. I don't reconcile every week. I reconcile every month, once a month, but every week I do all of my books. So everything's up to date every week. So when the year end is done, everything's up to date. All I'm doing is waiting for that last bank statement just to reconcile and boom, done.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Take care of it every
week. It really
week.
Doesn't take a lot of time if you stay on top of it. I just don't stay on top of it.
It doesn't.
It really doesn't.
I mean, I don't even think I spend an hour on it every week. Maybe if there's something weird going on or like a receipt I have to hunt down because I was dumb and didn't, store it or keep it or scan it or something. Then I got to hunt that down. What was that for? Right. So, well, congratulations.
Thanks.
I think that deserves a huge pat on the back, sir. Good job.
I pat myself on the back.
I saw. Yeah.
I'm absolutely going to pat myself on the back. But I appreciate you. I appreciate the acknowledgement.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that's my week.
This is your week?
Well, it has been so far.
Yeah. My week has been a lot of meetings, but one particular meeting, I guess, is my biggest hangup. And I don't know if anyone else out there is having this problem. Google has decided that they were going to suspend my Google My Business account or whatever. And they send you an email that says it's very, very vague, doesn't tell you like if you've done anything wrong or anything. It just says that your account is suspended. It doesn't tell you specifically what you did, but then wants you to appeal it. And if you go through the appeal process, it tells you to upload supporting documents, but you don't know what that supporting document should be supporting because you don't know what's wrong. So it's super, super frustrating.
Yeah.
This has happened to me months ago, and I just gave up on it because I couldn't Google my way out of it. I couldn't figure it out. So I ended up running into a guy some IT guy at a networking event. And I just happened to talk with him to see if he had any experience with this, because I don't have the bandwidth or the time effort to put towards caring anymore about it. And so I thought, well, if I can just have somebody else. But everyone I've talked to up until this guy knew about it and have heard that other people have been having problems with this, but nobody had any experience on fixing it. So I met this guy, long story short, he has experience with it, so he says, and I was like, great. So we had a meeting this week and kind of just handed it off to him and see where it goes and hope he can tackle it. So yeah, so that's what I've kind of been dealing with the whole. Yeah.
I had to deal with that when I moved. Google would not verify me. They would not verify my business. And they kept asking for a video. I said, send a video of the, just inside and out, cross streets and like equipment and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm not going to send you a video of like my garage and the inside of my home and all this to verify that I'm here. Like, that's absurd. I'll send you a piece of mail to show that I prove that I live here, but I'm not jumping through hoops and sending you a video. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an invasion of privacy. Google.
And I agree 100%, but supposedly from what I've heard, this is the only way out, is to do stuff like that. And if that's what it takes, I probably would be willing to do it just to get it out of my, my to-do list. But they're not telling me that I have to get verified. They're not telling me anything. They're not asking for anything. They're just saying you're suspended. And
okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gave it to this guy. This guy, so he's been working hard on it this week, and he's like, this is strange and weird and very complicated. And I was like, I know, I don't understand. I'm willing to do whatever it is I'm supposed to do, but they won't tell you what to do. And it's not like you can just call a phone number. There isn't a phone number to call. They want you to do everything through emails or something, I guess. I don't know. I'm done. So I gave it to him. I don't care. If it doesn't work, I don't care. I'm so over it.
I hear you.
So over it.
I hear you.
This whole.
I don't blame you.
It's driving me nuts.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I kind of gave up on it too. And it was like, then don't verify me. Fine. I won't be on Google. I don't care. There's a bunch of other avenues. High and mighty Google. Get off your high horse.
They got you by the
short and curlies.
They got you. They got by the shorties for sure.
I don't need them. Duck, duck, go, baby. Duck, duck, go.
That's right. There you go. All right. Well, here we go again. It's a renovation situation podcast we got going on here. So we'll pull back the layers of this complicated remodeling industry. So grab your beverage. I'm Joe. He's Todd.
Yes, I am.
What are we working on today? What are we going to talk about? Break it down for us.
You mentioned networking.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
I think
that's where I met the dude.
Yeah, I think we're going to go down that rabbit hole of just importance of networking, the different avenues, depending where you're at in this business. If you're looking for that foot in the door and just kind of, try and create some projects for yourself and make a name for yourself and get your business branding out there. Or if you're a little more established, like what's worth your time and worth your while, and what do you find is just a good return on investment in terms of whether it be monetary or time spent, you know? So I think I think we're going to go with that.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I brought it up earlier. I met this guy, IT. This is a great example of networking and how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty sweet.
That's how you and I met.
Okay. But yeah, it is actually. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Where you want to start? How you want to tackle this?
So, well, I mean, I guess real quick, I know we talked about that before, but we did meet at a remodeling industry event.
We did.
I came as a guest. You were already a member.
That's right.
Yeah. I ended up joining that association. And
are you afraid to say the name of the association?
Oh, no, we can say NARI if you'd
you
like.
seem to be beating around the bush a little bit about it.
Well, I'm no longer a member. So I don't know if I'm allowed to discuss it. There's a bunch of secret handshaking people over there. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it anymore or not.
Uh-huh.
No, that's the National Association of the Remodeling Industry, which I will say there's some good and bad in there for sure, which I think you could probably say about any association.
Everybody, anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
they're nationwide. There's chapters all throughout the country.
They are nationwide. Chicagoland is one of their biggest chapters, I believe. Top 5, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't know if it is anymore.
I remember Milwaukee being huge.
Milwaukee is huge.
Yeah.
This is true. Milwaukee has a pretty big event every year too, actually. Like people come from all over. I don't
remember where Chicago landed on the importance.
Yeah.
Or population.
So I'm no longer a member. I was a member for about 5 years. I think 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like I was not getting what I was looking for out of it. There were certainly some things that I did appreciate. They tried to educate. They would bring in speakers. They would bring in different vendors, salespeople, what have you. So they would try and keep their members educated. They had an attorney that was always present, so you could always kind of pick his brain legally or just new things that would arise that you had to make sure that your company was up to snuff on. I certainly appreciate that. Where it fell short for me was what I was looking for a lot of times, and that's why I met you, was when I met you, I was looking for a tile setter, and that's how you were introduced to me, was as a tile setter, and I come to find out you're a remodeling contractor. So there were some people that just, I felt like it was said one thing and didn't deliver on what they said they would deliver on. And that really irritates me. So I just kind of saw my way out of it just because of some of the people that were involved. And I felt like I just wasn't a good fit for me. That's all.
Okay.
Having said that real quick, after I was out of NARI, I had multiple companies who I started working with that were NARI members. And I was like, where were you 4 years ago? It's just kind of an odd thing. Anyway. Yeah. So there's good and bad.
Well, on the spirit of like networking though.
Yes.
That was an association that you were part of and I am part of, and we met through the networking. So this association has a lot of networking events. And I think one of the biggest benefits of being part of an association is the networking. So would you say that networking was one of the biggest things that drew you to not only NARI, but just an association in general? Like, is that,
yes,
that's one of the biggest things that drives me to become a member of an association, is the ability of just networking, getting your name out there and building relationships with other people in the industry.
Agreed. For me, it was networking and education were the two reasons that I joined to begin with. Excuse me.
Okay.
And that's certainly there. There's plenty of networking potential in that association. And I know you have some other associations out there by you, as do we here. And I think you're a member of a different association out there as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a few of them out here. I'm a member of Master Builders Association, MBAX, Master
Mm-hmm.
Builders Association of Snohomish and King County is the full mouthful there. And they are very, very similar to NARI. They're going to have a lot of networking events, which I really like. I like their networking events. I was at one the end of last week. Always meet somebody there. That's really the reason why I originally became a member when I moved out here. I decided that I wanted to be part of something that was similar to what I had in out by you through NARI. I enjoyed that group of people and being part of something. You're not just out there in my truck all by myself. I have these meetings and these networking events, and eventually you build up relationships because you see the same people over and over again, hopefully. Then you have somebody potentially to shout out to if you have a question or a problem or a concern. And I think that's what's awesome about our industry that I think gets a bad rap a lot is people and even contractors that aren't part of associations or aren't networking and they're just out there on their own. I think this stereotype that we're all competing against each other and that we're not looking out or not willing to help each other. I think that's totally wrong and a misconception that it's a shame because every time I'm out there at a networking event, I'm either helping somebody or they're helping me. I'm giving them pointers, they're giving me pointers. They're maybe trading subcontractors. Hey, you're looking for, I got a great guy. And it's kind of like that whole just being a decent human being. And then also the tide rises all boats type of thing as well. And the bad contractors, they're probably not showing up at the association meetings or they're not showing up for the networking events anyway, nor would they even pay to be part of these associations because these aren't cheap to be part of. So they're going to weed themselves out anyway. So it's another way of getting around like-minded people. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I enjoy most about it is I'm not just sitting in my truck by myself. I have something to look forward to. And I know that there's people out there like me that are thinking the same way. And I get to go and talk to other people. So yeah, one of them's the Master Builders Association. And that one does the best job out here for networking, I think, so far.
Yeah. I think you brought up a really good point about people's willingness to help each other, which I completely agree. That's a huge misconception. Everyone thinks we're at odds trying to undercut each other, trying to chop your knees out, make you look bad and bulldoze you to get that project. And that's 9 out of 10 times just not the case. More often than not, you're going to find people that want to help you. They want you to do a good job. You want them to do a good job. And yeah, I think there's a mutual respect there as long as you're a legitimate, upstanding company and you're trying to do a good job. There's a mutual respect across the board there that I think just goes a long way. So I completely agree. That's a very good point.
Good. I agree. There's another one out here called BIAW. I think that one's really interesting, although I'm a member of that one, but I'm not very active with that one. It's here in Washington. Let me pull this up for you. I got too many screens open. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Anyways, it focuses mainly on, there it is. It mainly focuses on like the legal side of this industry, which I think is really cool and interesting and to be supportive of. I have to tell you that I'm probably not that well adversed on everything that they're doing, but I get emails all the time about legislation that they're supporting or not supporting. They give you kind of the background about what their suggestion is as far as on this particular bill, whether they support it or not support it. And then you get to do your own due diligence if you want to. They even make it easy for you to vote on. So it's an easy way to be part of the industry and get your name heard without you spending a whole lot of time figuring it all out on your own and being a politician. So it's kind of cool. So that's nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Not, like I said, I'm not very active in it. So I don't know. I don't believe that they have any networking events or anything like that. So it's just an association that we're part of. And I thought I'd throw it out there, but it doesn't probably pertain too much about the networking part of the discussion. But yeah.
Okay. So we can go down a whole list of, associations, whether they be local or nationwide or, statewide or whatever it might be. Like there is no shortage of those. From the local level, there's the local chamber of commerce, which I joined out here, and I've went to one introductory meeting just to go and introduce myself to some people. But they have events regularly. It's just most of the time they're at like 10 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday or something, and I'm working. So I usually don't go. But in any event, there's all different avenues for those types of associations out there. A different avenue, which I like, is just because of what I do, which is majority interiors, is I work with a lot of interior designers. And I look at them always as just kind of an outside sales type avenue for me. They're going to weed out the tire kickers themselves. They're going to already discuss budget, plans, pretty good design, and then they're just looking for a contractor. So I kind of can step right into that mold, and I like that avenue personally. So local designers for me have been a pretty huge benefit.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Where and how do you find them?
Good question. So I have, over the years at this point, like, my God, I'm 14 years in business now, so I haven't had to find one for a long time. But a couple that I work with regularly are just local. The one I just moved out to Barrington this past year. I'm working with someone she's got a nice shop in Barrington. And I just went in there and introduced myself. I just literally just walked in the door and said, hey, I just moved out here. Like, I've been doing this for 20 some odd years, and walked through her showroom. I was familiar with some of the cabinet lines she was selling. I liked a couple of designs she had out there, and we just started bullshitting, and it turns out we knew a couple of the same people in the business. And from there, right now we have 2 projects scheduled for the second quarter of this year, and who knows, see where that goes. But it's a little bit of legwork and a little bit of just, you got to put yourself out there. Just go meet people, see what comes of it.
That's the whole point of this conversation, is networking. And that's how you do that. You have to be, it's easier if you're part of associations, right? Because they're setting up networking events for you, and you just need to show up. And that's 80% of the difficulty, is just show up, right? And all of these associations are going to have designers part of members. So you're going to have an opportunity to find some designers that way.
Mm-hmm.
Another association that I feel is directed towards designers is the Kitchen and Bath Association, National Kitchen, NKBA.
Yeah,
so they're
huge.
Right. When you think of NKBA, do you just think of a bunch of designers, don't you?
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly what I pictured in my head as soon as you said that.
Exactly. So that's another association that you can be a part of. You don't have to be a designer to be a member. You can be a remodeler, a vendor, a contractor, whatever, what have you, to be a member. They're huge. And I think that's
judging from the show in Vegas that you're showing. Yeah. Which we went to a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was massive. Massive.
Yeah. They're part of the IBS in Vegas. So They're huge, they're big, they're great. And most of your designers go to NKBA to get their certification. There's a certification that they put out, NKBA puts out, that I know a lot of designers go there to get. So that's a good avenue. Try to find your way in there. That's another association.
Yeah, absolutely.
You talked about local. That's another spot, right? Especially local chamber of commerce, things like that you already mentioned. Those you can find designers there too. And now we're just picking on designers at the moment because they're great. They're great for your business, but maybe not everybody's looking for designers. So you're going to find everyone at these different events, and you don't know who you're going to meet. And that's the greatest thing.
Yep.
The MBAX networking events. Yeah. So you have to go. So I have to tell you, I don't enjoy going. The particular networking event that I go to, they have it every month and it's 45 minutes away. It's a pain in the butt. It's in the afternoon. So I'm going to hit major traffic on the way home. So I'm always like Debbie Downer before. I'm like, I don't want to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every single time I come back, I'm like, I'm glad I went. Because you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know what relationship you're going to build. And you go 9 out of the 10 times, you might not meet anybody. And then you meet the one relationship that ends up on the 10th time, that ends up helping your company out in some way, fashion. And it was all worth it. So got to keep putting yourself out there and build those relationships.
Absolutely.
I think is the best way to grow your business.
Commerce, you have no idea who's there. I mean, you're talking to potentially accountants, financial planners, real estate agents. God only knows.
Yep.
You may meet a great dentist. Maybe you need a new dentist. Who knows?
That's true. Realtors. There's a lot of realtors at these associations.
Maybe that dentist needs an addition on his house.
That's right.
Who knows? Just get out and meet people. Do the legwork.
That's right.
It pays dividends.
Yes. Yeah. I have another 2 networking groups that I recently ran into that I didn't even know existed. So I'm going to put it out there. I'm not part of either one of these, but they are specifically networking groups. There's chapters in all the different cities. You can look on their websites to see if there's a chapter near you. They are very structured. So you're going and you're meeting once a week. They are expensive, but the whole thing is about referrals and getting referrals and referring people in your group and getting referrals for them as well. So you go to this group, let's say there's 20 of you or 10 of you or whatever in your chapter, in your group, you give a 30-second commercial every week to the group. So you're practicing, you're doing that. Everyone in the group is learning about your business. And then they're all going out trying to find referrals for your job or your company, and you're doing the same for them. And it's just very, very organized. A little too organized for my taste, but it's something that might work for you. So the first one's called BNI Group. So you want to look for a BNI group or a BNI networking chapter in your area to see if you can be part of one. What's kind of cool, and maybe not, depending on the situation you're in, the groups generally only allow one type or one member in their chapter for each industry. So if they already have a bookkeeper, you're not going to be invited to this group because they already have a bookkeeper.
Okay.
So this one's called the BNI group, and the other one is it's called Lee Tip. Very, very similar. Same thing as BNI group.
Sounds French. Le Tip.
So if you don't know about these, because I did not, then take a look and see if these might be something for you. like I said, they are very structured. So if you need something structured and, that helps you get motivated, then those might be a good fit for you. Something that structured for me actually does the opposite for me. I work best when I structure myself. I'm enough self-motivated. I don't want to be told what to do. I feel as though
Shocker.
I already want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it just doesn't fit with my personality. But
Yeah.
I went to one of these. I was invited to a Lee Tip one, and I loved the people. They're all very nice. It's just the structure of it all was just too much for me. And I was like,
Okay.
I can't commit to being here every Friday morning. Like, there's projects going and things happening, and
Yeah.
yeah,
To commit every
it's
Friday morning.
it is a
job.
commitment. I know it is a commitment, but that's what I mean. They take this referral thing very seriously.
Yeah.
Both of them do.
Too strict for me too. Yeah. But
it's a little
good to
too
know
much
what's
for
out
me.
there. Like you said, teach
But
their
it's
own.
out there.
Yeah, teach their own.
And I know multiple people that are in both LETIP and BNI groups, and they both are from both sides, both associations. I know multiple people in them, and they all have benefited from it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Very
Again,
good.
it's just networking is really what it is, just in a very, very structured way. And again, I think it's great. So it's just another way of getting yourself out there, another way of getting your business out there organically if you don't want to deal with this social media BS, Google suspending your life, whatever crap stuff as we're sitting here on podcasts. Yeah, it's just crazy.
But when it comes to networking, get your boots on the ground, man. I agree. I'm not going I don't pay for leads ever. I don't do the online crap. The only thing I will mention online is House. That's it.
That's why no one sees us. That's why we have only 2 people watching, is because we don't post for boosting ads and pay for all that. It's just like, because you're not going to be seen if you don't, because that's how the algorithms work. If you don't pay, they're not pushing you around.
Right.
Your content around. It's like, okay, well, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say for online is House. That's it.
House. I love House.
Yeah. And I like House just because it's industry specific. That's it. They don't call and pester you. You'll get a sales call maybe twice a year, and that's it. Just, do you want to promote your business a little more? Do you know that we're offering this? And that's actually just an informative conversation. It's not even a pushy sales call. So I really appreciate just what they offer. They have that website is so easy to navigate. It's great for the client as well as the contractor or designer. And I've met a couple interior designers from House actually, and ended up working with them. So that's a good avenue too if you're more prone to just online type stuff. The only other, well, actually two other things I'll say, unless you want to talk about House for a little while. Just colleagues, right? Like, I mean, I got a really good project from an electrician that I work with that he had a customer that wanted their basement finished. If you do a good job, you treat your subs well, your subs are going to speak highly of you, and you don't know who they know. So that certainly leads to potential projects as well. We did a really nice basement finish in Glenview that was just through an electrician that we knew, and it went great. Great client. Went very smoothly. So something to be said for that as well.
You and I built a big giant deck for our plumber back in the day. Remember that?
We did. We sure did. Mm-hmm. I saw our plumber today. I saw Tom today. And he mentioned the podcast. He's like, "You're on a podcast with Joe." Yeah, and I said, "You should come on." He goes, I told him he should come on, and he said, "I don't think I'm podcast material." And I said, "Everyone's podcast material, Tom." He's like, "Look at like the first 2 we did. I was staring at my camera like way too close and staring into my phone. I looked like terrible. Not that I look much better now, but it's like, hey,
shout out to Tom.
Yeah, just do it and enjoy it."
Yeah.
One other thing, and I know we've talked on this before, just not at any great length or anything, but just in terms of networking as well, like just local vendors, and whether that be
Yeah.
like I have a great rapport with just a local millwork shop that they do any type of architectural moldings you need. If you need arched doorways built, they'll fabricate them for you, and you just got to plop it in. They sell doors, windows, running trim, anything like that. And they have a pig roast every year. And every year that pig roast is, they'll get 100 people there in and out and passing. You go meet some people, eat some swine, and they have a little local jazz band that plays and have a beer. And so it's just same thing. It's just kind of getting out there and just making the rounds, and you never know what comes of it. So
Yeah, no,
anyone there puts my name out, which I
that's
certainly
a great
appreciate.
point. That's a great point. Yeah, because those are free. The vendors are trying to do like customer appreciation days, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are great to go to because you never know. Again, you never know. You got to go. I know you don't want to, but you got to go. Got to
Yep,
get out there.
absolutely.
But those are great. Yeah, we don't have Menards out here, but Menards in the Midwest, they always have a pro appreciation day. Those are kind of weird, with the box stores. But again, you just never know. The
No, you never know.
local lumber yards, like you said, tile stores generally do that too. They'll have a
Lunch and
day.
learn kind of things.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those are great to go to. You never know who
Yeah,
you'll run into or what you'll learn because you want to constantly be learning, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's tighten this up. I think networking is, in the end, the takeaway is you gotta get out there, put yourself out there. I really think being part of an association will help you in the beginning. Just become a member, try for a couple years. If you're truly not getting anything out of it, then you can probably back off of it. But definitely give your local association a try at least. Put yourself out there, be open-minded. Don't be afraid to go say hi to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Good?
Good.
Good. Networking. Do it. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.